Hi there, one and all. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sonora, the struggling linguist. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the subjects that are going on right now, including racism, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, etc. I have done these videos in Spanish and in French if you want to check those out. But right now, I'm going to give the clear and English version. I don't know why I said clear, but whatever. All right, so as we all know, the big thing in the news right now is Black Lives Matter. I guess because we're over this whole COVID thing, I guess. We're not really talking about that. But what we are talking about is racism and police brutality and what we can all do to solve this issue, how to resolve this issue. We see crazy things in the news going on in the States right now, and it's just not cool. It's just not happening. And I just wanted to give my view on, part of my view anyway, because my view, takes forever, and I didn't want to make like a 15-minute video where I'm just like rambling and talking and going off in tangents and something like that. So I'm sure wherever you are in the world, you have been watching the news, and somewhere in the news has surely popped up the protests happening in the United States right now, and yes, a little bit around the world, that were sparked by the three top cases that recently happened in the United States concerning Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd, with the former being the real catalyst, the latter being the real catalyst for everything as far as I'm concerned, as I see it. Ahmaud Arbery, the unfortunate victim of two neighbors who decided to take it upon themselves to pursue some perceived crime of a black man jogging down the street who happened to enter a house under construction from which, by their own accounts and by the owner's account, nothing was stolen, nothing was damaged, destroyed in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, so these two geniuses decided to take guns and to pursue Ahmaud while he was on his run. Of course, we all know what happened, which is a sickening video to watch, really. I'm sorry, the way he collapsed and everything, that's just sickening. It is absolutely sickening. Breaks my heart. So that one, as we know, there was no police around. There had nothing to do with police, really, except for a call that they made saying that they think this person was involved in some kind of robbery ring or whatnot. In fact, you could say that the issue was the lack of policing, right? Ooh, that was very unfortunate. I don't think he should have lost his life over that. I do think that the neighbor could have, the one neighbor who filmed the whole video, could have found some way to like signal to Ahmaud, like, hey, I'm not on their side. I'm just here to make sure everything's okay. You're okay. Come, I don't know, something. I feel like something could have been done on his part. I'm just saying. When it comes to Breonna Taylor, though, it's a completely different story. That is the most unfortunate of all of these because she was doing nothing but sleeping in her bed after a long day's work. The police were in search of some suspect that apparently was already in jail. Huh. Maybe they need more resources to keep up with their paperwork and make sure people are checking things, logging things properly so this type of thing doesn't happen. But to say that this particular crime was motivated by race and somehow, you can't push me that far to say that. It's unfortunate, it's sad, but it could have also happened to pretty much anyone. It's just saying it's not necessarily race. Now on to George Floyd, which we all saw. The 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I guess, is the time that we've put on it, according to Dave Chappelle's recent Netflix documentary. But anyway, these two people have history with each other, animosity. They didn't like each other and whatnot. But besides that point, was there an excessive use of force? Of course. I don't think anybody's debating that. Was that necessary? Absolutely not. I get that the family wants to see the death penalty kind of eye for an eye type of thing. I can get that. I can understand that. However, charging him with first-degree murder is like absolutely not the right choice because, well, putting me on a jury, I couldn't really say that, hey, this guy intended to kill him. He had the forethought. He may put any kind of planning into it. Quite unfortunate. You should know that, you shouldn't be leaning on somebody's windpipes for that long or for any period of time, really. And it had the unfortunate outcome that it had, but can we say that that was some kind of intentional thing that would deserve the first-degree murder charge? I personally don't think so. They gave him third degree at first, upgraded it to second degree. I think that's fair. First degree would be a little too much, and being a member of that jury where you're telling me, oh, first degree is the only thing on the table, I would not be able to give that person life or death, because I don't think it's fair, and I don't think the situation, anyone can really prove that, this was intentional, like he intended to kill him. And I know people will disagree with me, and that's fine. That's okay. This is the way I see it. This is my perspective. So as far as I can see, these are the three main stories that were the catalyst for the second, at least I think it's the second push of Black Lives Matter movement, which we had a few years ago. What was it after? Was it Philando Castile? Was it Michael Brown? Sandra Bland? Perhaps. It's sad that there's so many names to go through, but one of them, unfortunate. We've gone through this movement before, and it was about, I think it was like 40% of the American public said that they supported the movement, which has really recently risen above 50%. And I support the Black Lives Matter movement because I'm a Black person. That will matter. I live in Canada. I grew up here. I can gratefully say that I have not experienced racism, any kind of true racism. I've not been brutalized by the police. I don't know anybody who's been brutalized by the police. I say that, and it's a privilege, and I'm happy for it, and I feel blessed not to have lived any of that. Of course, there have been people who have said bad things to me, but every single time there's been people to stick up for me, and most of those people were white, so. But Black Lives Matter, if you're looking at the big picture, yeah, support it, white people. Do what you can, because it's all an us issue, right? Here's the real question I have most of the time. How much do Black lives matter to other Black lives, right? So that will take me into a discussion about defunding the police, which is something I am completely against. I think it's a terrible idea. I honestly don't see who that will benefit, like on a long term and a global scale. Who does that benefit? For so many reasons that I think are very plausible, but again, it's my perspective. We will all have our own. Those are my thoughts for the moment, just in a nutshell, recapping that. I do think the movement is important, of course, for so many reasons, so it's very important to grow this movement, to help this movement, do what we can, everybody and anybody, because at the end of the day, it happens to white people too. And actually, I just saw a video today that just completely broke my heart, and it's white police using excessive force and being completely unreasonable towards a white victim that they blatantly shot and murdered live on camera, who was completely unarmed. It's disgusting. That victim was named Daniel Schaefer, and I will include a link to the video right below that you can find in the New York Times website, and it is heartbreaking. It truly is. It's disgusting. And that's why you should all care, because it could happen to anybody. You can reach up against one of those bad apples by just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And your color may not necessarily have anything to do with it, right? If they're on a power trip, they're on a power trip. Those are the things we need to solve. That's what we need to find. That's what we need to figure out and clean it out and give them whatever help they may need, or fire them if that's what's needed. But defunding the police is not the way to go, and I will talk about that in another video. Thanks for sticking around. See you next time. So all these things come together, have blown up the Black Lives Start over again. Is Black Lives Matter. So recently in